Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Tamara Johnson. Shealey, good morning. It is Saturday, a beautiful sunny Saturday morning here in Georgia. This morning's broadcast is going to be deep and it's probably going to be heavy. I am the mother of two sons, and this broadcast is heavy for me and deep for me. And I titled it Black Bodies because our bodies in this country have no value. So just to kind of set the stage here, my son last night decides to stay out till 4 a.m. in the morning. And he knows he's a grown man, but there's a line that, if you stay out, you need to call and let me know I'm not coming home, or but don't just stay out. So it's a feeling that comes over a parent when you don't know where your child is, or if you don't know if your child is okay. It is the worst feeling, a feeling where you really just have I don't have no words for it. I always thought when my kids were younger that was the hardest time. When they're little kids, no. When they're big kids or teenagers or young adults, this is a hard time. So the stories today that you're going to hear about these young men, as a mom whose son just stayed out late, I can't even imagine the pain of a mother who's lost their son. So I invited Miss Jackie Johnson to join me this morning. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
I you know, I love you. And for those of you, the first time I saw Jackie and met her in Valdosta, when I saw her, all I could do was when I saw her, I just grabbed her and I just hugged her. And I told Jackie later on, I'm like, I know you probably thought that, I just held you because my heart breaks for what happened to Kendrick. My heart breaks for you.
Thank you.
This was a vibrant 17-year-old kid who you sent to school. I believe, that's a safe space, right? You send your child to school, you expect your child to come home, and Kendrick didn't come home. And I'll let you start there, Jackie.
Yeah, on January 10th, 2013, it started off as a normal day. I got Kendrick up and we got ready for school. He rides the school bus. Well, he ride with me to the bus yard to get on the bus. And it was a normal day, nothing out of the ordinary. I told him bye, have a good day. And I went and got on the bus and he went on the inside and sat down. So fast forward to that evening, he didn't come back on the bus with his bus driver, and it's not out of the ordinary. It's just was unusual for that day because he hadn't got permission. Though that he don't get permission, though that he didn't ask me, he would normally still ask his father. His father Joe Chucks, or he would even let his sister or brother know if he couldn't get in contact with us where he was at. So um I asked the driver, had she heard from Kendrick? And she said, Kendrick didn't ride the bus. And she said, no, he was supposed to. I was like, yeah, but he might have stayed at a game, so it's okay. So later on that evening, when I got out the bus and when I got in the car and started on my way home, I called my husband and asked him, had he heard from Kendrick? And he said, no, he ain't heard from him. Maybe he done talked to one of the other kids. So he called one of the kids and I called one. And neither one of the kids had heard from him. So I called out to the school and asked, was it a game that day? And it was a game because one of my friends always would be at the games, like refereeing the basketball not refereeing, but doing the basketball game. And so I called and asked her, had she seen Kendrick around 6:30, 7 o'clock, I think it was. And she was like, no, I don't think I seen him today because he usually come up to me and dap my hand. So I ain't seen him today. So fast forward on past that. So by then, we done started getting worried because nobody still haven't heard from. We called the kids again. Nobody still hadn't heard from. So I asked my husband around 8. I said, you want me to go ahead and call the police? And he was like, yeah, just go ahead and call the police. So I called the police out. The first one came and said, the first one came from the city, and he was like, that was out of his jurisdiction. So he called, since high school was at the last place they seen him, they had to call out a county sheriff. So the sheriff came out and he was like, black guy, well, he probably just done went somewhere and laid down and went to sleep and the overslept with some little fast tail girl. I was like, no, my kids know me. They know not to play with me when it's definitely on a school night. You don't come in the house at your time to be in the house is 10 o'clock, not 10:01, not 10:02, 10 o'clock. So, by then we real worried. Then nobody still hadn't heard from Kendrick. So the sheriff would say, well, I guess I'll just go canvass the area and see is he coming up one of the roads or coming through a path or anything. And so I said, okay. And I got in my truck a little while longer. Me and my husband, we back and forth and talk back and forth to the kids. So I get in my car and I went to the high school, drove the way in case he was walking from the basketball game. I was seeing. So by then it's like 11 o'clock. I'm canvassing the high school and stuff. Still no Kendrick. So, was restless all night long, still no Kendrick all night long. I didn't sleep at all. And the sheriff did call back. The the sheriff person from the sheriff's office did call back and he asked had Kendrick came did Kendrick come home, and I was like, no, he's still not here. And it was like 5 something in the morning then. So he did, well, we're gonna go ahead and do him as a missing do a missing report on him. But now normally, they wait 24 hours. So I was just like, okay. So I got up I got dressed that morning at about 7:30 so I could be to the school at 8 o'clock. So I get to the school. Mike Adams is already walking toward me and he was like, yeah, we know Kendrick's missing. This is how he's talking. Yeah, we know Kendrick's missing. We done already checked the class and he's not in class. So you can go back home and I'll just we'll give you a call if we hear anything. I said, go back home. No, I'm not going back home. So I turned around and went over there to the guidance counselor and I went to talking to her about my daughter. And I asked her, did she know Kendrick was missing? She was like, no, I hadn't heard. So she started calling children out of class. And as we sitting in her office, I had been there for maybe I say a good hour or two, maybe about 2 hours sitting in there just with her calling students out of class and talking to her about my daughter. And so somebody called her phone and her phone was turned up so loud. The person said, we just found the body in the gym. And my eyes just went. And so the lady trying to play it off, she just like, like you're talking to a person, but you don't want the other person to know what's being said. So I'm just sitting there like, and she's not going to say one word. So a group of ladies come in the back part of the office and stuff, come in the back part of the office where we sitting there in her office. And, she goes out with it and talking. Everybody's looking in there at me sitting down, but nobody's saying that. So my god sister, my best friend, came and to get my grandbaby that was up there. So as coming to get him, I start walking him down. So she called and let me know she was downstairs. So I started walking my grandbaby downstairs to my best friend, and then she said, the lady asked me, do you want me to take your grandbaby down there too? I was like, no, because he don't know y'all. So I walked on downstairs and then I seen Deputy Shirley. She was another resource officer that was there. And I just asked her, I said, is that my baby that they just found dead in the gym? And she asked me where was Kenyatta. And I said, Kenyatta's walking up. And then I asked her again, I said, is that my child that you just found dead in the gym? And she said, yes. Nodded her head, yes. And I just lost it. like, how do I got to learn that my child dead by overhearing it on the cell phone, on the telephone? So we sat at the school all day long. What that first part of the morning. Then they moved us down to the superintendent's office, which is about, I say, a good mile down from where the school is. So we sat in there to about 5:45 that day, and that's when the second time when the sheriff and three or four more officers came in and said the body that they found was Kendrick's, and he had no physical bruises, he had no cuts, no bullet wounds, nothing. He didn't have none of that, so they didn't know how he died.
But you later found out none of that was true.
None of that was true. But they let my baby identify him by a tennis shoe on a cell phone. Not even the tennis shoe, even though how can you identify anybody by a shoe? It's so many pairs of shoes that are out there, mate. How can you identify that a child by that? But so we went, as we left, we started leaving about 6 o'clock after they came in and told us all that. We started leaving about 6 o'clock going home. So my husband, he was on the road. He drove trucks. And fast forward to the next day, you know, we were just still in shock to know that my child had got killed. My child was dead at that Lions High School with no answers. So the next day, Sunday, my husband and I and a couple of my family members did a press conference with the news, and we said we didn't want Kendrick Johnson's body to leave Valdosta, Georgia, until somebody identified Kendrick's body.
So they never wanted y'all to see his body because they knew you would know that it was something more than what they were saying to be true.
Right. So later on that day, my husband did get the after he went to we had to go to the sheriff's office and all that. He did get to see the Kendrick's body, and he was like, he came out of the place where the cooler, he came out of it instead of air. So they was trying to like decompose him to cover up the stuff that they had done to my son's body, because he laid in there on the gym floor for like 6 hours without them even calling the coroner.
But they found him, quote unquote, in a mat.
Rolled up in the gym mat, saying he was trying to retrieve a tennis shoe.
And you knew none of that was true.
Yeah, we know. Me knowing my child would have went in that gym, threw all those mats down on the floor, got his tennis shoes, and went right on to class and left those mats down there. Never would my child try to get in a mat he couldn't fit in, because his shoulders the mat was 14 inches wide, and my son's shoulders was 17 and 19 inches wide. So there's no way that could fit in there any kind of way.
So Jackie, when they took his body from Valdosta.
After my husband sitting there, they say they took it from Valdosta to the crime lab. And that was another thing. They took his body to the crime lab here in Valdosta, and the crime lab wasn't even operable. It wasn't even used. You know, most of the time when you have a body and you store a body, you store it at a funeral home, never at a crime lab. But you took it to a crime lab here. That's where that's the second place where the cover up started to take place. The first place was at Lounge High Gym. The second place was at the crime lab, because Kendrick's body had no business being out of crime lab. They still haven't gave us a reason for his body even going there.
So the police took it where they thought it should have gone, when in actuality it should have gone directly to the funeral home. Is that what you're saying?
They knew where it was supposed to go. They took it there so they can do some covering up. I'm gonna say allegedly, because I know they probably listen, but I'm gonna say allegedly to do some more covering up, trying to disfigure his face some more. Like it looked like somebody had thrown a chemical on his face, the way his face was peeled off. Because if you see his face, Kendrick had so many different faces those images will never just leave my mind. Like when you see him in there on the gym floor, Kendrick's face was not like, it was dark, but it was not like the pictures you see on all the other different pictures. It's just like the skin was just peeling off of it. And they talking about it came from a mat. It was skin. Listen, I had a 9-month-old baby that had skin slippage. You can't tell me what skin slippage look like. Like, I don't seen it firsthand. So, and it was just so much.
Go to the place, Jackie, where you exhume the body at some point, and you have been in this battle from when they exhumed the body, and then you found that there was no organs.
We went and took his body to have a second autopsy done on it. And once we got there, Kendrick's entire body was empty. They gave us a half a child back. Kendrick's body had no organs in it, from his brain all the way down to his pelvis, his tongue, his windpipe. They cut out his throat, his heart, his lungs, his kidneys. Every internal organ in his body was missing. Kendrick's clothes went missing. His fingernails that got clipped on the scene at Lowndes High School. We never found none of that. We have no idea where none of my son's clothes is. None of his fingernails that were clipped, they should have bagged and tagged. None of his organs. And
And to
then
this
they
day,
stuffed
no answers to where what happened. To this day, there are no answers to any of that.
no answers to none of it. And then they stuffed his body with newspapers as if he was a trash can. Newspaper and magazine articles is what they had in his cavity.
Jackie, my heart just breaks. Like I said, when I saw you, all I could do was just hug you and hold you, because my heart just breaks. I can't imagine the level of pain. I can't.
It's just so many levels of pain. Like, I just feel like it's somebody pinched me so I can wake up, because I know it's reality, but I just can't imagine, my life being where it's at right now. I have a dead child. Something you would think you would hear about on Lifetime. You would be watching on Lifetime, but I'm living this life with a dead child, from a child going to school one day with good intentions to be a professional football player one day in life. And now they just cut all his dreams and goals he had short, and our goals as well.
Yeah. Where are you now, Jackie? With you're getting a lot of traction, and every opportunity I have to be a voice to your story, I use it. I anytime I can speak about it, anytime I can give you a place to be seen and heard, I will do it. Where are you now, Jackie? I know that you are. There's a documentary, and I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
Let's play the documentary, because that is partially where you are right now,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
All right, let's play the documentary. Let me share my screen. Do we have sound? Let me see. One moment. Let's see. Uh, it's freezing up. 1 second, Jackie. I can't do this. I can't.
911, where's your emergency? Yes, I'm calling. My son had to come home from school. Kendrick Johnson.
You know, she said, have you heard from Kendrick? 12 o'clock, I knew he was dead.
The body had been moved. The scene, in my opinion, had been compromised.
When they said he climbed inside the bed to get the shoes, I already knew that was a lie.
We opened the body in this particular case. The organs were not there. Paper had been stuffed into the cavity to fill it up.
Body parts are missing. Evidence is missing.
And we tested it, and it was blood. Now, we did DNA testing, and it was not the blood of Kendrick Johnson.
If it wasn't Kendrick blood, who blood was it?
The parents hired their own medical examiner who said this was a killing.
An FBI agent's home was raided last month in connection with the investigation into the death of a Valdosta teenager.
Supporters for Kendrick's family are calling for a Department of Justice investigation.
What do you want? Justice!
The Johnsons and their supporters now hope the FBI will get an answer to what happened to Kendrick Johnson.
All along, we know it was bullshit. We know it was bullshit.
If KJ had been white, we wouldn't have had to make this film.
Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Where can the documentary be seen?
The documentary can be seen on Amazon Prime, Vudu. Gosh, I just went blank. YouTube, and Google.
You have an event coming up, Jackie. Tell us about it. His 26th birthday.
Yes, Sunday. Sunday would have been his 26th birthday. We're doing KJ Day in the park. We're just gonna play a little bit of kickball, and some guys want to play some basketball. And we're gonna go to the grave, and we're gonna do a balloon release, and say a prayer and sing happy birthday.
A very nice flyer. Sunday, October 10th. If you are in the Valdosta area, come out and celebrate the life of Kendrick Johnson. Again, Sunday, October 10th at noon. There's a graveside, and at 1 p.m. it's a parade over to the Volaton Park. Is that where y'all going?
Volaton, yes, ma'am.
Volaton Park. And then at 2 p.m., kickball, basketball, and a whole lot of fun. Let's celebrate the life of Kendrick Johnson. I'm going to see you in January.
Oh, yeah.
Jackie, again, you are a friend to this broadcast. Let me remove this to share. You are a friend to this broadcast. I found the People article too. You're in the People magazine.
Yes.
Tell everybody about that as well.
Well, it's from the documentary. They took it and talked to the producers, and they featured Kendrick in there and told a good bit about Kendrick's story. So he got 2 full pages in there. So the word is getting out there.
Yeah. Jackie, we love you. You keep being strong. Like I said, anytime I can use my platform, my voice, whatever political wield, whatever I can do to support you, to be a resource to you, I'm going to do it. I was hopeful to have a T-shirt. I saw where you had the fundraiser for the T-shirt. So I'm looking in every day in the mail so I can get my T-shirt. I'll be sure to take a picture in it once I get it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jackie. And thank you for joining us. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. I told you it was going to be hard. It was going to be heavy. But our Black bodies, our Black boys, we have to keep talking. We can't ever be quiet. We can't ever be silent. I'm going to bring my next guest. This story is about Zxavier. Justice for Zxavier. I met his mother on the Clubhouse app, one of the rooms that I was in. She came in and she told her story about Zxavier. Xavier Hill. Let me bring her to the broadcast. Good morning, Latoya.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm maintaining. That was a lot to hear. I've heard Jackie's story before, but I haven't like. It's different when you hear it sometimes from the mom in itself. Sometimes, so that was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have a story. Your baby, a handsome young man, Xavier Hill. You want to tell us?
I do. So, as you can see, Xavier was when I talked to you guys on Clubhouse 2 weeks ago, whatnot. I explained to you what happened with Xavier. Many people do not know Xavier's story. If you're not from Virginia per se, in a sense, Xavier was 18 years old when he was killed by the Virginia State Police. As I tell people all the time, whatnot, we live in Virginia, so Virginia is a right to carry state. So our gun laws here are a little bit different than some other states, whatnot. In Xavier's video, there's also a video online when he got shot, because when Xavier first got shot, we were very adamant about them having the tape release, more so in a sense of, I think our goal at the time was hoping to do the right thing, right? And release the correct tape, not release the manipulated tape to side with the cop side or the DA side or whatnot. On Xavier's tape, when they pulled Xavier over, Zay was feeling a little bit. They told Zay to pull over. When Zay pulls over, Xavier tells them on camera that his door does not open. He says it several different times. Um, Once Zay's car got stuck in the embankment, he explained to them that his door does not open. When the officers came upon Xavier, they immediately had their guns drawn immediately. They were screaming at Xavier, different commands, show them his hands, open his door, get out the car. So if he's telling you that his door doesn't open, it means he can't comply because his door doesn't open. He's telling him that, right? They shot at Xavier 4 times, 3 bullets hit Xavier, and they killed Xavier on the spot there. This happened on January the 9th, 2021 of this year. We have been to court recently trying to depose the officers in regards to Xavier's case, ask more questions about what happened with Xavier, because the quote unquote grand jury report, which is not really a report to me, is very contradictory to what the videotape actually shows. It doesn't coincide at all. There's missing information as far as like the reports are concerned. On Xavier's report, 2 officers shot at my son. We only have one testimony from one officer. Where's the other one?
So it was only one testimony but it was 2 officers, but it was only one testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
But did both of them fire at him, or was it just one officer that fired at him?
Both of them fired at him. They both fired at Xavier. They both said in the report they both fired at Xavier. And then the thing about, like my lawyer said too, even the testimony that we received, it's like a little snippet. Maybe like 4 or 5, it's not even a full sentence of his testimony. It's a very small snippet of what he said and whatnot, but it's not the whole thing at all, period. So we're actually for the other push of that as well. They also have it was my son's cell phone, and you're supposed to have some kind of cell phone, if I'm not mistaken, like a warrant, a search warrant or whatnot, do so whatnot. They don't have things for Xavier's case, and I asked all those things who FOIA acts, who what are the protocols you guys took and whatnot, and it has all been denied. April of this year, the NAACP, and I don't want to too much care for them because they, was going through this whole thing about they're going to help with Xavier's case and all kind of stuff, right? They had a meeting supposedly with I guess part of the AG's office, but not a full meeting. We were told back in April. Let's keep in mind, I was told back in April this year that we have a meeting in regards to my son's case. We're in October. I've heard nothing from no one. When I'm going up there, whatnot, to discuss whatnot, I've gotten the police called on me. I've gotten escorted off the premises. And keep in mind, this is after I've been told you have a meeting in regards to Xavier's case. So that's where we're at right now in Xavier's case right now. We're more so the civil side, but I don't really. I care about the civil side. I'm more so things about the federal side as far as them being indicted as officers or not. They killed my son.
He was 17,
He was
18.
18. Mhm.
Do you have other children?
No, ma'am. Xavier was my only child. So when I say, well, I have a stepdaughter, but Xavier's the only child I actually gave birth to and whatnot. So just like Ms. Johnson said too as well, now you know your kid. I live in Northern Virginia. I would say it's racist on an undercoat type in sense or whatever. When Zay was driving, he was driving a Mercedes. He had a Mercedes, they had a BMW. It's not uncommon for this area where I live by DC. So the kids up here, that's just kind of that's like what they do or whatnot. It's not uncommon or whatnot. But because he was a black boy driving that kind of car, it's like, well, first it kept saying, whose car is that? It's his car. That was the first thing, whatnot. Then it was, oh, why is it in the area? We own a cleaning company. So Xavier we had a contract in Charlotte, still he was living there, and whatnot. A government contract that I was doing, and that Xavier's working on the contract for me and whatnot. But even still, it shouldn't be the question. What baffles me is that when the cops kill our kids, people will always question the victim. Don't question him. Nothing that Xavier did can cause him to get shot or whatnot. The actions of the officers, they shot at Xavier. Question them.
So have you had a trial at all?
No, listen. What they did was this. They literally had a quote unquote a grand jury report, right? They did not tell us when the grand jury was going to be meeting, reporting, nothing. Nothing. Me and my husband was going to out of town, I think about 7 at the time. The lawyer who had at the time, he wasn't personal retained, but they were retained in a sense. They called us like 7:45. He was like, Latoya, they're gonna release the video. But they told us a week in advance. I have a feeling they're gonna release the video at nighttime. I said, why you said that? He said, because they should miss the news, which is what they did. It was released about I think like 8:45, something like that or whatnot. The tape got released. It was released on YouTube. They had a whole grand jury, I don't know, trial, whatever. Not we wasn't made aware of it at all, period. And then once they had it, they pretty much said that they were not going to indict the officers. And this was back in, I think, April of this year. Well, I'm sorry, March of this year, whatnot. But they pretty much said then they're not going to indict the officers. So then we were like, okay, well, we're going to be notified about the grand jury report, the trial. They told us about nothing.
So they had body cams. Is that how you were able to get the footage that you do have?
That they have dash camera footage, and they're trying to keep in mind the first time we saw this tape, it was my sister, my husband, my brother, and myself. So it's 4 of us in the room, okay? So 4 people are gonna know it's on the same thing or not, okay? We all said when they put the tape out that's in the public now, we all said the same thing. This is not the same tape you showed our family. I've sent emails to the DA's office addressing the same thing. They will not contact me back. I've contacted the news and told the news the same thing. The news has reached out to the DA's office. They won't contact me back either. Whatnot. If I was lying, they would say that.
So the video that you saw is not the video.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Keep in mind, like I said, not. I don't care if you had 10 kids or 1 kid or not. Zay was my only child. You're going to remember that. Period. How your son died, you're going to remember that. Okay. On the video, even when you watch the video, and when people watch the video, they have to actually slow the video down. But slow the video down. People need to take notice of when the cops come out of the car. One cop from the left side comes from the left side. The other cop from the right side comes so far over right that you're like, what car you got of? And they're trying to convince us they're in the same car. If you watch that video and you just slow it down, you see the one cop coming from the left side and you see the other coming from the right side. But he comes in so far right, it is not humanly possible to be in the same car.
So the video has been like doctored,
Manipulated.
literally
It's been
manipulated, doctored. They've
absolutely. I even my lawyer, I've had like a lawyers in the FDA's office, they're like, they said, as a real both statement you make. And I said it is. But I'm lying, they would correct that. They would say, hey, no, this not it. I've been saying the same statements when my son got killed. You know what I'm saying? And I've been telling them, listen, if he pointed a gun at y'all or whatnot, show me that. I'll go away. I want to even that's what all. Show me that. Y'all can't show it all, period. It's like, no, because I know what I saw.
I'm gonna play your video. Let me play your video. Your press.
I'll tell you when to go and slow it up, because you're gonna see the moment when the cop comes out of the car.
Which one should I play? Should I play the one that says the one where you're in a press conference where you're speaking? Because there's two videos on your website.
Okay, I don't think his video is up there actually then. So I don't think the video of him being murdered is actually on that website then.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna play this one. Let me play. I did watch your press conference. I want to play that one.
Okay.
A mother in search of answers tonight, exactly 1 week after her teenage son was shot and killed by state police. He allegedly led troopers on a high-speed chase and pulled a weapon. Our Matthew Fultz reports his mother disputes part of the narrative released so far.
Well, family members of Zxavier Hill traveled hours to be here at the Goochland County Courthouse this afternoon. His mother now pleading for justice for her son and for the state police to release body cam footage of her son's killing.
I want justice for my son. I want it for my son, y'all, please.
LaToya Benton shares a heartfelt plea Saturday afternoon in Goochland County.
He's my only child.
A plea to get justice for her 18-year-old son, Zxavier Hill, who was shot and killed by Virginia State Police on January 9th. Police say a trooper tried to pull over Hill after a radar clocked him going 98 miles per hour along I-64 West near 295 in Henrico County. Police then say Hill sped away at speeds of 120 miles per hour and attempted to make a U-turn at one point on the interstate, but ran off the left side of the interstate before sliding into the median and becoming stuck. According to police, two troopers walked to Hill's car, telling him to get out and show his hands. Police say he displayed a gun and was shot by police. Investigators say they did find a gun inside Hill's vehicle.
He reaches out of the car with his left hand. He turns his body around like this.
Benton says her family watched the police dash cam video and she believes Hill never drew a weapon.
My son says, okay, my door is open with more I want him to say.
Growing up in Stafford County, Benton says her son was an all-around athlete and hard worker. She says he was on his way to Charlottesville to see his girlfriend the morning of the incident, and she says he even helped her with her business.
I wouldn't have my business. Every contract I got, my son went with me. Every job I had, my son went with me.
Benton's now hoping that other parents don't have to go through the same thing she has, and that she's also calling for discipline for those involved.
I want them to be fired. I want them to go to jail, period. I want them charged. That's justice for me.
Now, state police say that those two troopers involved in this incident have been placed on administrative leave until the investigation is over. Police also say that once the investigation is done on their part, they'll then hand it over to the Goochland County Commonwealth's attorney.
A mother in search of answers tonight, exactly.
Unmute your mic. I think I can. Yeah, there you go. My heart just breaks. He's 18 and he's gone. What's next, LaToya?
Well, Tamara, give me 1 second. My line is kind of choppy. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm doing next is this. I just had court recently, and it's like I said, they make you do the whole stupid thing of like, I really think this is totally wrong because I think what I'm realizing is that when they make these families file for the civil suit first, because it's a fight and just doing that in itself, right? When families have to file for the civil suit first and then have to figure out a way to have the case reopened, I think people like they lose in a fight. So what my goal is we're doing a civil suit for Xavier. I'm waiting to file for that suit for him now. I intend to take the information though to use it on my federal suit. That's my main thing. I own a business. I mean, I'm not like rich or nothing like that or whatnot, but like I do pretty well for stuff or whatnot. So I'm not interested in their blood money. I'm interested in systematic change. My whole thing is that I know like people don't realize that through the 14th Amendment, Xavier had the right of life and due process. Period. The cops took that from my son. I'm going to therefore make sure that as his mother, he is going to still get his due process of life. He's entitled to that. So my fight in this goal now is to make sure Xavier gets his full set of due process, period. Himself, as well as any other citizen that has to go through this or not. I feel like the DOJ does not protect us as citizens. I mean, yeah, they have the state laws going on or not, but they don't protect us as far as our constitutional rights are concerned, and let the state officers just do whatever. So my next step is to continue this fight of fighting for systematic change. Like, I'm not sure exactly what per se justice looks like in a whole, but I know me fighting for change is what I'm doing.
Yeah. God bless you, Latoya. You stay strong. I know that this is was hard for you this morning, and every day is hard for you. I just want to say thank you for just staying in the fight, because you love your son, so you're not going to stop, and I know you're not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop. It's thank you for having me on this morning. Like I said, if you guys can just please keep sharing this hashtag, keep sharing this story. These stories shouldn't keep happening, and like I people gotta realize all the time, whatnot. Yes, it happens to me directly, but people have to realize that like it shouldn't be happening to somebody. Period. And we have to. It's not. Yeah, Black people, we are getting killed at a higher rate, like we are, but we have a problem in policing. Period. We got a problem in policing, period. People cannot keep saying the black and white thing. The police have an issue, period. Mm-hmm. We got to all band together to fix that.
Yeah. No respect for Black life. No respect for Black bodies.
At all.
See none.
At all. I saw an article last night about some guy, before I called you, he was a paraplegic. And they pulled him out of the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And the guy's telling, it's like, y'all just people can tell y'all, hey, my son is telling y'all his door is broken. Y'all disregarded that. The guy's telling y'all he's paraplegic. Y'all disregarded that. It's like, come on, like at what point in time, like, what do we have rights as citizens for?
Yeah. You keep fighting, and we're right here with you, Latoya. We are right here with you. I will continue to spread the word. I will be a voice, because it takes all of us to keep talking and keep pushing and keep fighting. So I am here for you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Samara. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And you have a good morning, and I will talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Black bodies, Black in America. It is. This is hard. Like I say, I'm the mother of 2 sons, and Jackie's son went to school. Kendrick Johnson went to school and didn't come home. Her son was going to see his girlfriend and was killed by the police. My son stayed out last night, just a little too late for my liking. And I know how nervous, that nervous, scared energy that you get when you don't know where your child is, or if you don't know if your child is safe. I know that feeling, but not to the magnitude that these women, these mothers, the way they know it. So my heart goes out to them. Again, I will use this broadcast, and I will always be a resource to Jackie, to Latoya, and these mothers around the country that need a voice in these political spaces. I wanted to share a couple more stories. I'm going to share my screen. This is the story of Jimmy Atkins here in Georgia. It says on January the 22nd of 2019, Atchison was unarmed and cornered in a broom closet, surrounded by 4 members of the task force, including former Atlanta police officer Sung Kim. It says Atchison was accused of robbing a woman and stealing her cell phone and purse. However, witnesses came forward and said that's not true. The agents were serving a warrant on Atchison for armed robbery. There were no body cameras on. It says conflicting commands were given. One member of the task force instructed Atchison to come out with his hands up, but another voice was overheard telling the father of 2 not to move. He was following the command to exit when he was shot by former Atlanta police officer Sung Kim under his eye, killing him. Black bodies. This is Jimmy Atchison. Justice for Jimmy Atchison. Found another article that I'm going to share. This is the Justice Department. They won't pursue charges against the Wisconsin officer who shot Jacob Blake. You remember Jacob Blake. It says the Justice Department will not pursue federal civil rights violation charges against the Wisconsin police officer who shot Jacob Blake last summer, which culminated in days of violent riots where 2 people were killed. It says Kenosha police officer Rustin Shecky shot Blake 30 on August the 23rd of 2020 during a domestic disturbance call. It says the shooting left Blake paralyzed amid a summer of riots nationwide about police tactics and racial injustice. So the officer that shot Blake, Jacob Blake, the Justice Department won't pursue charges. Black bodies. Black bodies. I'm going to share one more article. I thought this was something that we needed to discuss. Black bodies, y'all. These men were promised a chance at parole in 10 years, and it's been 50 years. Black bodies. Black bodies. It says for dozens of Louisiana's oldest and longest serving inmates, the choice could not have been more stark. Risk getting sent to the electric chair for rape or murder, or sign a plea agreement that carried a life sentence. Black bodies, y'all. It says in 10 years and 6 months, they were told they would be eligible for parole. It was the law until it wasn't. It says in the 1970s, the state raised the parole eligibility requirement to 20 years and then to 40 years. And by 1979, the chance of parole was gone altogether. It says now 5 decades later, many of those languishing inmates are well into their 70s, 80s, and for some, their release is imminent. Black bodies. It says the plight of the inmates, most of whom are Black, are known as 10-6 lifers. It drew the attention of Jason Williams, the first-year district attorney for New Orleans. It says Mr. Williams' office said it had recommended the release of 2 Black men who had each served more than 50 years in prison and was working toward what it called post-conviction plea agreements with 2 additional men. It says the office also confirmed that its prosecutors would review the cases of about 14 other inmates from New Orleans who were in similar predicaments. Black bodies. Either we're in the grave or we're in the prisons. Black bodies. I actually I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I found the pictures of these men, these two men that they were talking about who had served 50 years. Let me see if I can pull it up. I want y'all to see how these men look today. They were actually released. I saw an article, more than 50 years, but I want to share my screen. Let me see if I can make it larger. Yeah. Let me show you their pictures. Today, they were released 50 years in prison. Black bodies. Either we're in the grave or we're in the prisons. And this is why I fight. This is why I fight. This is why I run. Black bodies. So I wanted to bring you this broadcast this morning, but I'm going to flip it, y'all. We're going to go over. Yesterday, I did a challenge, a Cash App challenge, y'all. For those of you, you know I'm running for the United States Senate. And it cost to do this. It cost, y'all. What it takes to run a statewide race, it's going to require all hands on deck. Everybody, all hands on deck. May 24th, 2022 is election day, but it's going to require all hands on deck. So yesterday, I did a challenge. I was challenged to do this $5 Cash App challenge. I did it on Facebook. I took it and put it on Twitter, and I asked Instagram to help when I saw that it wasn't picking up as much traction as I would have liked. So I put it on Instagram asking for some help. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to do a raffle. I got some prizes. Let me go back. Let me stop sharing real quick because I want to make sure you can hear. Here you go. All right. So everybody that gave yesterday, I put your first names on the wheel. So we're going to do 4 prizes, y'all. We got 4 giveaways. You can find your prizes on the website. Let's see. There it is. So your prizes are on the website. You go to Tamara for Georgia, click on that fundraisers tab. And those of you that are winners this morning, you go to the website and you select your prizes. For the men, I have on the website, we have these really nice ties, really nice ties. Statue of Liberty on the very bottom. Really nice ties for the men, because a lot of the prizes are so girly. But if you want something for your daughter, your wife, or if you want something for yourself, I have mugs. So if you want a mug, fellas, I also have thermals. So let's see who our first winner is this morning. Let's see. So I found this neat little app where we could spin the wheel. So let's see who's going to be our first winner this morning. It says, did you get 100 people? No, we got 25. 25 people that participated. But I'm going to do this again next Friday. I think it just should become like a every Friday, $5 Fridays, I think is what we'll call it. But let's spin the wheel. And see who our first winner is. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see. Here we go. Woohoo! All right, Crystal. All right, Lady Crystal, you are our first winner. Yes. What'd you say? You said this, what'd you say? Let's see. This has to change. I don't want the prize, but I gave before midnight. Yeah, your name should be on here, Monique. Let's see. Let's make sure. Miss Lady Crystal, you are our first winner, so we're gonna remove you. Monique, I don't see your name. Did you give? You must have given on the website, because everybody that gave on Cash App, this is their name. So reach out to me, Monique. Reach out to me. All right, let's spin the wheel one more time. We're going to do this 4 times. Let's see. All right. William, you are my next winner. William. Yes, William. she said I'm too old for Cash App. You are hilarious. All right, William, you are our second winner. Let's see who the next winner is, y'all. Let's see. We removed William. Let's see. We got 2 more. Congratulations, William. Yes, congratulations, William. All right, let's see who this third winner is. John. Woohoo! John, you are our third winner. John, you gotta tell me what you want. Congratulations, John. All right. One more, y'all. One more. Let's spin the wheel again. Brian. All right, Brian, you are the lucky winner too. All right, this is fun. All right. So our winners this morning are Crystal, William, John, and Brian. I will be reaching out to you guys. Again. Your prizes are on the website. Go to Tamara4Georgia.com. Click on the fundraisers tab and you get to select from there. I'm going to do this again next Friday and do this same thing. I thought this was a whole lot of fun. So yes, good job, Brian. Yes. And John, Lady Crystal. This was a whole lot of fun. So yes, let me stop sharing. All right. So thank you for joining me. This was a difficult broadcast, but these are conversations that we must continue to have. Black bodies. Again, I am Tamara Johnson Shealey. You can join me right here every Saturday, giving voice to issues, activists, and activism. Please support this broadcast. This is independent media. This is where we won't be quiet. This is where we tell our truths, our stories, what's happening to us, from us, for us, by us, not by them. So please support this broadcast. Go to tamarashealey.com. This is our voice, right? You know, I work alongside churches to fight for reparations. Go to the website, pastors, go to the website, please. There's a whole generation of us that need you. The reparations movement, we need you. Reparationssunday.com. You're looking for a real church that's all about social justice. Reparationssunday.com. You will find churches on the website. Are you a descendant of chattel slavery right here in Georgia? If you are, HB541.net, HB541.net. This bill is in the Georgia legislature. It will be coming back in 2022. It was introduced in 2021 this year. You know, Georgia's on a 2-year legislative cycle. We got to make sure that this bill is passed. This is Georgia's reckoning with those of us who are descendants of chattel slavery. This is Georgia. This is Georgia. Let's make our voices heard with HB 541. You know, I do Keeping Up with Congress Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, bringing it back to Facebook. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Keeping Up with Congress. We will not get reparations without negotiations. We got to know the players. We got to know the game. On Tuesdays, White Women for Reparations on the Clubhouse app. If you're not on that app, you are missing out. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are listening to They Were Her Property. They Were Her Property. We're listening to that book on the Clubhouse app, White Women for Reparations. On Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Clubhouse app, Reparations Sunday, where the activist community, those of us who are engaged, we update, we collaborate. Reparations Sunday is the club. Follow us on the Clubhouse app. On Thursdays, Hard Conversations, White Women, Black Women, let's talk. Women are going to be the ones to change the world, but we, white women and Black women, we got to figure out how to get this right. That divide is real. So we have those hard conversations, and I say we go there. We go there. And again, I am Tamara Johnson Shealey, your candidate for the United States Senate. Go to the website, donate, volunteer. This is a race that we can absolutely win. I have centered reparations as a part of my campaign agenda, because white America and Black America, when we get this right, we bridge that divide. That is the America that will be great. So go to the website, donate, volunteer. I will see you back here on Monday for Keeping Up with Congress, right here on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in to Tamara for Georgia, where we give voice to issues, activists, and activism. I am Tamara Johnson Shealey, your candidate for the United States Senate. I'm a progressive Democrat that believes that reparations will make America great. It is time that we bridge the divide in this country. Please go to my website. That's www.tamaraforgeorgia.com. Please join me every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here for Tamara for Georgia.
When we come to Washington in this campaign, we're coming to get our check. Young prodigies. Grow. Free.
Reparations, Martin said we coming for our check. Reparations, say it loud, 1, 2, mic check. Green, cash rules everything around me. Dream, my legacy, you can't stop me. Coming for our 40 acres, HI40 and our paper.
Kicking the door, coming for our 40 acres and more. Our 6.4 trillion. Miss said no, we fought the Civil War.
We came from the poor.
Start from the bottom, we still on the floor. We pray to the Lord.
Amen.
Picking the cotton, our fingers are sore.
Straight out the underground, escaping from slavery. The only cemeteries that we had were the trees. Watching our bodies while they blew in the breeze. Sticking to the north side to get free.
That way came from slavery. Where's on the man wants to sit on me? Put her head on the door, but the werewolf schemes. Stick to the north side to get free.
Reparations, Martin said we coming for our check. Reparations, say it loud, 1, 2, mic check. Green, cash rules everything around me. Dream, my legacy, you can't stop me. Coming for our 40 acres, HI40 and our paper.
We taking them back. Putting Pettis Bridge on the map. Police came with the strap. That Sunday was bunny, no cap.
Stop capping.
Speaking of cap, Kaepernick taking knees at the flag. Where my Nature better give me them rat. All fat, just a match and a little bit of gasoline. 4 girls got bombed back in 63.
400 years, yeah, we still ain't free. I rise, we rise, taking it.
Kaepernick.
Reparations, Martin said we coming for our check. Reparations, say it loud. 1, 2, mic check. Cream, cash rules everything around me. Dream. My legacy, you can't stop me.
Coming for our 40 acres, ain't y'all 40 and our check.
We stuck in the trap with no shoes, trying to pull up bootstraps. Increasing the gap. Wealth got bigger, so we had to adapt. Discriminated cause we black. I know it worth more than I know it's a fact. They tryna fit scraps. Strike me on bars so we can't come back.
30 years ago on April 19, Yusef and Try Remy Chemical Reed.
If it happened to them, think it happened to me. Screaming, ready